studio, and we're joined in the studio today with comedian William Callahan, and he's even brought an audience. So we've got William Callahan. William, thanks for coming into the studio.
No bother.
What's your name?
Sheehan.
Sheehan?
Yeah.
Just Sheehan. So there you go.
Dean Fitzpatrick.
Dean Fitzpatrick.
Aaron McInerney.
Brian McInerney.
James.
James. There you go, friends. Pretty simple. Easy names too to remember. Easy names to remember. I'm going to do my shout-outs first as usual. So for my friend Mr. H and his good lady Mrs. H, on their way up to Newcastle, he's up there directing a new 6-part series, Radio with No Window. So a big shout out to all them. Big shout out to Josephine Sultana and Dean Maskell with their new series coming out too, comedy series. Grimesy, big shout out to you, Grimesy Grimes, Irish TV, the Bible Code Sundays, Andy Nolan, Matthew T. Metzler out of Breaking Bad, Razor Matthew, his mummy Corrine Cohen, Big Niall Kennedy down at the Celtic Warrior Gym. Your debut fight's coming up soon. Steve Collins VIP, my man Steve, Razor Steve over in London, and Vinnie Jones is following as well. Let's give Vinnie a big Razor from the Banter Show.
Right there.
Razor Vinnie. So it's great to have all these people. Elise, we're plugging your book again. Elise Quevedo, good friend of mine. The Twitter girl herself. We're on camera 2 here for Twitter girl. 600,000 followers. Good girl. Start sharing the Banter Show for me. Josephine Sultana, Reaper Shadow. So it's a book and film coming out this year. The book's already out, the film's coming out later this year. And yours truly plays a real bad boy in it. Also, I'm in this, being the middleman, by my mate, Big Phil Howard. So there you go. We're going to do a few more shout outs that I have to do. Kerry Christie, she's a boxing trainer, personal trainer, MMA trainer from the Celtic Warrior Gym in Dublin, and she's on her way to LA. Best of luck from us all here at the Banter Show. Also for Cormac Ferguson from Fort Knox Security Shop in Hill Street and the Fit Club. And by the way, lads, from Fort Knox Security, you've done a great job at my house fitting the alarm. Class job, Razor. Christina Doyle from Moscow, Mark Anthony Deacon, Jamaica, Miss Anufa in United Arab Emirates. We've got the Nepal Indian, Doug Edwards in the USA. We'll go back to this one. Fact Films, Tom Begley, Razor, you legend, you. Aurora Dawn from Alabama 3. I want Harry and Alfie Hudson Taylor. I want you guys to come into the Banter Show, lads. When you're touring, when you get back to Ireland, give me a call, we'll come into the Banter Show. Also, all the boys here at Field Motion on Belfast Road, the Blues in the Bay, also for the Shout, Split Lips, Kieran from Irish Showreels, and Noel Razor Smith, my main man. Also, and this is my last shout out, lads, or the show will be over. At Justified Prince, Lexi PR down there in Malaga, Big Rogie in Belfast, Razor Rogie, Ray Mysterio and Sexy the Band, and again Vinnie Jones 04, at Vinnie Jones 04. Simply Prestige, thanks for the invitation to the big gig in Essex. Carl Frampton and Cyclone Promotions, Barry McGuigan. I want you to guys, if you're coming back to Newry, get in touch and come in for the banter here, lads. Also to Big Jeremy from Power Pack XL. Jeremy, send us over one of your power packs. This thing's dead already. See, can you keep it alive? Also Paddy Barnes and Michael Common. So that's about the shout outs. That's enough shout outs for the day. Razor, let's get that banter started. William Callahan, comedian.
Yes.
So how are you? Where are you from, William, first of all?
Well, I'm originally from a place called Atlantic City, New Jersey in America, but about 12, 13 years ago I moved over here with my mum. A lot of people actually wonder why I came over from America, and the simple answer to that was...
Exactly, why?
Well, the simple answer to that was my mum's from Newry and my dad's a prick.
Right, right. So your mum missed the rain and the cold weather, basically. Although when it's cold in New Jersey and when it's cold over that side, the east coast of America, that's why he left America.
Yeah.
You only think it's cold here. When it gets cold over there, it gets cold.
Yeah, it gets really cold.
So your dad's a prick and your mummy's from Newry then.
Yeah.
So well, first of all, welcome to the Banter Show. And you've started. How did you get into comedy?
I think it was about 3 or 4 months ago when I went to the Sugar Supper Club, and they were doing a comedy night, and I actually brought, like, I'm in performing arts, so I have these things called poi, They're like there's these balls that they spin up and they light up, and like I got called on stage by one of the acts to do it, and then later the guy that ran the gig was like, here, do you want a gig? Like literally like offered me an opportunity to do anything. So I did. I said I always wanted to try stand-up comedy, so I gathered a few jokes and used the jokes as an opener for a monologue, and after that I just kept working on it.
And so you're doing your own jokes then? And
Yeah.
very good. And your last gig now, he sent me a video, it was a good video, I enjoyed watching it. And that was in Derry.
Yes.
You were live on stage in Derry.
It was the CERT competition. It was a competition between a bunch of colleges that have performing arts courses. So I got entered into the stand-up comedy section, and I didn't win, which is a shame. See, funny thing with
But you didn't lose either.
Oh yeah.
You know, you don't lose, you
Who's
took
to
part.
say?
It's okay, there's a winner, but you took part.
Yeah.
Ta-da.
Though I did say you're not a winner until you've got a trophy.
Well, there's no trophies here in the Banter Show, but if I had known that, we'll get you a trophy.
But it's funny, whenever you're doing like a gig, like when there's other comics there's like banter in between the other comics, and that's there when it's a competition. But whenever they get on stage, you're like just sitting there laughing, like, please stop being funny.
Prick.
You'd leave his dad alone. I can see this Banter Show going, getting taken off there altogether. No, I'll tell you what it is, friends. We're having the banter first, and then I'm giving you fair warning now. When after the break, this man's going to do, William's going to do a stand-up comedy routine, and I don't really want to offend anybody. So after the break, this is going to be X-rated, over 18, adult jokes only. So if you're easily offended, tune out when we take the break. If not, stay around for the crack. I'm sure we'll have a laugh. That's what it's all about. So what do you base your material on, or is it just...
Pretty much whatever comes to my head, mainly. I don't even write stuff down, to be honest. I actually just sort of like come up with stuff and sort of develop it in my head.
Just improvise it there and then, quick.
Well, yeah, I also test it when I tell it to my friends, so like these guys have probably heard everything that I'm about
These
to
guys
say.
have heard all
Too
the
many
jokes.
times.
It's like it's heard it about 10 times. And
But then you're one of the few comedians that brings his own audience with him. Now check that out, friends. That's a good one. That's a good sign.
Aye.
Are they looking after you? Or are you looking after them? What way is this working?
I'm not sure how they feel about me right now because I don't think they expect you to be on the show.
Oh, right. So it's your own show. I'll go away on them. No, well, that's great. So you've been living then in Newry, how long roughly?
About 12, 13 years.
So, and you're happy enough so far then?
Well, for Newry.
You've get into the Newry way.
Yeah, a friend of mine always said it's not the end of the world, but you can see it from there.
That's a good observation. I like that one. It's not the end of the world yet. It's not exactly the start of it either, is it?
No.
It's alright. Boston is supposed to be the hub of the world, isn't it?
I don't know.
It's quite a city, I was there once.
They had a big massive, it wasn't a statue, that's called a public artworks stating that Boston is the hub of the world. So we're not too far away from the hub of the world.
Aye.
Maybe this is the end of it before it reaches the start. But, so, you're happy enough, you're gigging. What about the rest of you? Are you into your comedy as well, or are you just sitting back and letting him do all the hard work?
Watch a bit here and there, but I think I'll leave the hard work to him.
Yeah, because it is hard work, isn't it?
It is to a degree. It's a bit nerve-wracking when you first go up on stage, but whenever you actually get on there, it's sort of like whenever I did the CERT competition, it was sort of like a panic to this point, and then whenever I actually finally got on stage, I sort of mellowed out. So like performing, I find the performing aspect of it's easy. It's just coming up with like newer material is a harder aspect of it.
It takes a lot of guts to get up there, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But as you said, when you're up there, you know you're there, and then that's it. You just do your routine.
Yeah.
When you see people's reactions to it, it's pretty encouraging too. He was telling me before, whenever things go down well with the audience, it gives you courage to do more.
Yeah.
That's
That's right. That's absolutely true. And as I say, I've been watching a few of your videos, and I tell you, you're as good as any of them up there, any of the big names up there, because you go straight on. There's no mucking around. You don't kind of hang around and...
Without the tax evasion, right?
None of that I carry. I'm not allowed to mention that word in the show. That's the 3-letter words, one of the 3-letter words that are banned in the show, you know. So you're giving it a go then.
Yeah.
Have you anything lined up? Have you?
I do, and I've got a gig in Cobbles at the end of June, and then 1st of July I'm back in Sugar Supper Club again.
Brilliant. And it's a real good club, isn't it? Big raiser to all the Sugar Supper Club. Neil, I was talking to Neil not so long ago down at the food festival. Nice one, Neil. Get you in here for a bit of banter, because they are good, aren't they? It's a great club, that.
It's nice, but I like the atmosphere in there. Like it's different, you know. There's nowhere really quite like it in Newry, you know.
No, it's different. It is completely different, and the staff are brilliant. Kim, big shout out to Kim as well. So they're all there. It's great. Neil's a good fella, good friend of mine. So just before we take the break, can you give me, now I'm telling you friends, anybody that's easily winded up or offended, this is your chance. I'll give you, we're out of here, and I'll give you good evening and all that, and Razor, we're out of here. But if you want to stick around, if you're a bit risky and you can stick around and you don't mind bad language, well then that's all right. We're gonna take a short break, and then we'll be back and we're gonna see William in action. Is that all right?
Yeah, it's great.
Before you go, big up, friends. Give us all that camera over there. Give it a big razor.
Right.
Right, friends. We're taking a break. Back shortly. Razor friends, here's the man himself. It's William Callahan. Go for it, William. You're live on stage.
Right. So a horse walks into the bar. The barman says, "Why the long face?" And the horse replies, "It's because my dad's in hospital." Second horse walks into the bar. The barman turns to the farmer and says, "Would you stop letting your horses in my bar, you culchy prick?" A third and final horse walks into the bar, and the barman then comes to the sudden realization he's never in his life left this bar. His life is nothing more than a setup in a series of crude gags. He puts a gun to his head and attempts to end the madness in the flash. He's returned to the bar. Now last summer I went to Amsterdam, and me and my girlfriend are kind of narcs, so we did everything but weed and strip clubs. And we went to this information desk and we said, "Could you help us find a coffee shop?" He was like, "Sure." And we handed him our map and he started circling areas out. And he was like, "Okay, this one's my favourite coffee shop. Over here's where Ocean's 11 was filmed. Over here is the best coffee shop in Amsterdam." And then he started going, "And over here's Mellow Yellow. Over here's the Green Room. Geez, I wonder what they sell at the Green Room. And over here you can get the best weed in Amsterdam, no coffee. We just wanted coffee." Oh, I thought coffee was code for weed. So later on that night, we're sitting outside our hotel, just looking at the canal. It's all romantic, we're having a laugh, and then all of a sudden the Polite pull up. Yes, apparently the police in Amsterdam are called the Polite, which must be a nightmare for anyone involved in organised crime. "Relax, Tony, I'm only being polite." "I know he is a rat." So anyway, the Polite pull up, and they say, "Oh, there's supposed to be a man here." "A man?" "Yeah, there's a man with a grey hat, a blue jacket, and he's masturbating." And we're like, "No, we haven't seen him, but if he's not here, he's probably finished." Interesting thing to note about that story is the bar was called the Wanker Bar, so whoever the hell this guy is, he saw that as an instruction. Another thing about me is, as well as being an aspiring comic, I'm also an aspiring writer, which is ironic because I'm dyslexic. It's also infuriating because people are very intolerant towards people who can't read good. So it always makes me wonder, I wonder what the world's going to be like when grammar Nazis take over. It'll start off simple. They'll have posters of dyslexics up, crowding around a fire, burning dictionaries, wearing those weird teal-tinted sunglasses. And then they'll have segregated areas for us. For normal people, there'll be the library, and for dyslexics, the library. And then they'll just start sending us to concentration camps, in the most literal sense of the word. They'll beat the shit out of you for not knowing the difference between a silent P and an S. Another thing, as I said, I'm originally from America, and people actually give me a load of shit for coming from America sometimes. The first thing this guy told me when I told him I was American was not, "Oh, what's the weather like over there?" Not, "How long were you over there?" His first question was, "Do you know America technically never won a war?" You know, I technically don't give a shit. You know, another thing they give me hell for is American English. They say it's not a language. And you know, it's English simplified, so I'm with them on that. But while we're talking about things that aren't languages, Ulster Scots isn't a language either. What Ulster Scots is, it's really just condensed to Northern Irish drone. So, are you really heckling me? So if we were going by a scale, we'd have English, American English, and Ulster Scots, and that's English, simplified English, and Jesus Christ, you didn't even try English. And another language from the island of Ireland is Gaelic. It's almost a dead language. There's very few people who speak it, and it's like Latin. If you want to know, if you want to read Latin, you want to read really, really old text. If you want to read Gaelic, you want to speak to people who have not seen human contact in some time. People so Irish, they probably still believe in Callahan. So you're driving through the south of Ireland, and this guy starts speaking Gaelic to you, and you're like, "Oh yeah, that's right, you didn't develop with the rest of us." People get offended at that. "You know, I actually speak Gaelic. Oh, congratulations, tell Finn McCool I said hi." There's a website, actually, have any of you ever heard of Tumblr before?
Yeah.
Tumblr's basically a website where teenage white girls can pretend they're oppressed. And of course, they do a lot of talking about people who actually do go through a lot of hell. And there's a lot of groups that go through a lot of hell, but there's one group that no one ever talks about. And I'm here to talk about it. The one group that has it the worst has to be dogs. Now, I know that's really weird to think, but you know, they can't leave the house without a rope around their neck. There's people who don't want any other dog other than a purebred dog, and the ones considered undesirable are put down. You see, it's normal when we do it to dogs, but apparently whenever we do it to people, it's called the Holocaust. You know, there's people as I go, "Oh, my dog's a purebred. Oh, congratulations on your Nazi dog." "My dog's got a pedigree." "Oh, racism and classism. Congratulations." Now, I don't follow politics. About as much as I know about the DUP is they're really fond of Britain, because Britain is shaped like a dragon, and that's pretty cool to them. There's another local politician, Mickey Brady. Has anyone ever pointed out that that guy looks like Colonel Sanders? As far as I know, his policies are a united Ireland and keep the secret herbs and spices away from the DUP. They're going to start their own chicken restaurant, the RUC. Now, so also, one thing I realised, there's a term for people who are actually fond of Irish people. It's called hibernophile, or a hibernophile. And I always thought that term was funny, because it sounds like a fetish. You know, E.L. James, the writer of 50 Shades of Grey, her husband's Irish. Is she a hibernophile? Is the next scene in 50 Shades of Grey going to be, Christian Grey arrived home to hear river dance music playing up the stairs and the seductive sense of peat burning in the fireplace. He arrives in the bedroom to see that the sheets have been replaced with a tricolour. And in the corner is Anastasia Steele, wearing a low-cut tweed skirt, wearing a farmer's cap, and she is seductively brandishing a shillelagh. She slowly turns that photo of the Virgin Mary towards the wall and says, "You've been a dorty, dorty boy." Thanks very much.
Hey, Razor! Razor, friends, Razor! And what do you think, lads? I think he deserves Razor Williams.
Razor.
There he is, the man himself. Razor. He's just about offended everybody. Everybody got it there. Nobody was safe. And it's a bit of banter, friends. That's the way it works. It's only he's a comedian, and he's a good comedian because you've got different content there, and you're not afraid to come out with it, are you?
Nope.
There you go, friends. That's what it's all about.
Though I think next time you see me, it'll be sit-down comedy because some of them kneecapped me.
There you are. Only in the Banter Show. Only in the Banter. So
I need my knees to stand.
it's which of the many groups are you talking about? So if you're lucky, we'll see you in a wheelchair then. If not, if not,
The Colonel of American.
don't keep waving KFC or you're getting it. I'm telling you. But that was good crack. It's different content, and as I say, from all the staff and the crew, wish you the best of luck from the Banter Show.
Thanks very much.
You know, and as I say, I can see you getting a few more gigs, and you've only started.
Yeah.
For a guy that's only started, you're doing pretty good. Andy brought his own audience. Nobody else can do that, you know. But you enjoyed it yourself.
I did. It went well, a lot better than I thought.
There you go. You didn't know what to expect, so you didn't.
No.
No. But remember, wear a bulletproof vest for the next 6 months. I'm style-proof cackery.
Sure, I've united everyone in pissing them off. There's the funny man there.
Well, there you are, friends. We only have to get the timeout saying from our main man there from Video Jar Productions, Oliver from Video Jar, and it's the Banter Show in conjunction with Jam-Time TV and the Jammin Factory. From me, William, and the rest of the guys, friends, we're out of here right now.